So Vincent, when you look at Brexit, how worried are you about Brexit compared, for example, to tariffs on car makers in Germany?
It's another concern. I think eventually they will find a deal that might be a bit of a fudge because some key decisions might be left for the transition period, which is supposed to run into end 2020. As you know, in the Article 50 blueprint agreement, you don't need all the details. So I think they will find an agreement. But clearly, the risk of a no deal has increased. And I think the political developments that we're seeing in the UK with Boris Johnson are marking an escalation. I don't think talking about a suicide vest was very welcome and is going to bring any calm to that situation. So.
But does that does it make him closer to be Prime Minister, or does it push it further away, right, that he's Prime Minister? And again, is pound fairly priced? Do we need to wait until what December brings?
Yeah, I think it shows that probably the desire on his side, the push on his side, is getting stronger. Does he have the support? I don't think so. But the moment of truth really will be when they come to find an agreement with the EU, which I think will be at the earliest mid-November, but actually it could be later. Mm-hmm. And then we have to see whether that agreement is ratified by the UK Parliament. And clearly it's not a done deal. And that's when we could see quite a rise in political uncertainty in the UK.
Okay, so what do you do with UK assets from now until then?
Still quite defensive, to be honest. If you look at the equity market in terms of valuation, it's actually relatively attractive. Mm-hmm. But of course, there is a lot of political risk. And same thing when you look at sterling. It's quite cheap, but I think it could go lower as the uncertainty remains very high into between mid-November and December, when really the decisions are going to be made.
Vincent, how do you look at sterling? Is it cable, or do you look at euro sterling?
I look at both, but I think there is room for the downside in the near term in both euro sterling and the cable.